Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Planetarium show. My name is Jessica. I'm the director of the Planetarium, and with me tonight is one of our students who I will let introduce himself and say hi.
Hey, my name is Braden. I'm a music education student here up at UMD.
All right, so tonight is our March edition of Ask an Astronomer, where we are here to answer your questions and maybe be stumped. We haven't yet. I don't know if I should be issuing this challenge, but we are here to answer questions. So, for our lovely viewers, if you have questions for us, you can leave them down in the comments. And I do see that we have one question already asking about the program Stellarium, which is the program we use to do all of our constellation shows each month that we do on these streams. Now, they're asking for tutorials or recommendations for using Stellarium. And I will admit, I don't have any I know of off the top of my head because I just kind of dove in and learned it. It's not difficult to learn at all, but I do also know that they have some really great getting started guides that I have recommended to people to use before. So there are resources out there, and Stellarium is fantastic, really easy to use, and you can do some amazing stuff with it.
I was gonna say it's pretty user intuitive, and even so, like when you download the program, it comes with that like users guide.
Mhm.
That's what I used when I was first checking it out and everything. It works really well.
Yeah,
It's pretty user intuitive, and it's not too hard to pick up.
yeah,
Like just like going in blind.
and yeah, I have them kind of play with it so that they can learn like constellations and stuff
Yeah,
for these shows. So yeah, it's great, very easy. I highly recommend
yeah,
trying it, and it's free, so you don't even have to, you know, put in any money to try it out.
very true, very true.
All right. Well, let's wait and see if we get any other questions. I know that we have a few things that we wanted to talk about today. Do you want
Mhm.
to? We should start with James Webb.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's start with James Webb. Okay. For anyone who doesn't know, um, the James Webb team had a press conference today and announced that the mirror alignment has finished. Let me just hold on. Let me bring up the picture to show you guys. Okay, there we go.
So cool. It's so cool.
So James Webb has a segmented mirror. It's 18 hexagonal segments, and for the past few weeks, they have been moving those mirrors, fine tuning them so that they are in focus and in the correct position to all work together to create one image instead of 18 images. This is what was released today. This is the final alignment for the mirror segments. You can see the star that they're focusing on in the very center. Those spikes that you're seeing are the result of the long exposure time. So this image is, I believe it was 2,000 seconds of
Oh,
exposure. And so you end up kind of oversaturating some of the pixels and it spills over, and that's where you get those like spikes. You also get some diffraction things going on. I'm not going to get into too much of that. It's those spikes are normal and to be expected for
yeah.
a star. But what we have been geeking out over is the background, where in the
Yes.
background, just of this test shot, you can see galaxies. Look, oh, these little smudges, those are galaxies.
Can I say the article title?
Yes, go for it.
So this is an article from The Guardian, and the article title is NASA image of star photobombed by thousands of ancient galaxies. I love the word choice in this. I think it's really
Yep.
funny,
And
but
this, it's a test shot.
it's wonderful. It's really
And
really
and
cool.
what I am extremely excited about, not just the alignment has happened, but they've said that they've been able to exceed their expectations for this alignment, meaning James Webb is performing better than they had expected. And I just I cannot express my excitement for this telescope, and the things that
It's very
we're
cool.
going to be able to achieve with it. So there's your James Webb update. There's the glorious image. That is a test image, but has, galaxies in there that you wouldn't be able to see with your naked eye. And that's one of the things I saw in one of the articles I read about it, was that um, because of how big James Webb is, you're going to pretty much always have galaxies photobombing, because it's just going to collect so much light that you're always going to see stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's really really cool. It like I told you before this, it just like that test shot, like it looks like this something you would see in like 2001: A Space Odyssey, or like looks like the opening shot to a movie. It's
Yeah.
so cool, so cool.
And I will say, on stream, it looks like it's coming across a little bit more kind of red, than it does on my computer screen. But you can always go find this for yourself. There's
Hmm.
lots of different. I think I pulled this image from space.com, but you can find it any NASA or James Webb stuff. Yeah,
Hmm.
very
Yeah,
cool.
because mine looks more orange than anything, orange yellowish.
Yeah, and I know that's the filter that they decided to use for the test shot. They went with a red filter, um, and so that's why we're seeing that color. All right, so we got not a question, but a comment, which is good to know. I will admit, I'm a little bit behind on keeping up with the Artemis stuff. But rollout for Artemis 1 starts tomorrow if all goes to plan. So Artemis 1, or Artemis, for anyone who doesn't know, is the next manned mission. Well, will be the next manned mission to the moon. I think they're starting off with non-manned launches to test things out. But that
Yeah,
just means we're kind of moving forward with getting people back to the moon, which is
that is
crazy.
it's so cool, and it's it is a little bit like kind of weird to think about how long it's been
Yeah.
like since we've put people on the moon in the first place. So it
Well, and it's also like, to me, I, it's sad to me
yeah,
that we haven't gone for so long because the interest died out. I mean,
yeah,
and without the interest, you can't get the funding, and you can't make that happen. And I guess that is one of the advantages to having private companies start to build these technologies, so that we're not entirely relying on government funding.
that is true.
But there's
Very true.
downsides to it too. We can possibly get into that. I don't really want to get into
Yes,
that on
it
this.
that is a completely that is very much a very long
Yeah,
conversation.
but I am very excited to hopefully in my lifetime actually see people walk on the moon
That would be
and go to the
really really
moon
cool.
and build possibly a base and have a space station orbiting the moon and have a woman step on the moon, because it's only
That
been
would be
guys.
so cool.
Like,
Matt,
it's, yeah.
imagine if like someone went onto the like imagine like someone like live streaming it on like Twitch or,
I
like YouTube
totally
Live.
expect that to happen.
I think it would. I think
Like,
it will
we
is
will
the
have
thing.
streams from a base on the moon.
Someone like playing like Elden Ring.
Or Kerbal. Playing Kerbal on the moon.
Yeah, yeah. That would be so sick. That would be really really cool.
No, it's gonna be, yeah, we're getting some exciting things happening.
It is
So,
really really cool.
speaking of more exciting things, you had another topic to
I
talk
did.
about.
I will say this is one I am not too up to date on either, but NASA's Mars helicopter Ingenuity is to got a its flight got extended. So it's gonna keep flying through September, basically.
Yeah, I think it's
Wait to
had
resume.
21 successful flights so far,
Yes,
which is
correct.
just
Which
crazy.
is really, 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 really cool. I'm happy. It is. I don't know. It's cool. It is cool that it's being like that it's still being continued.
Yeah. And I mean, it's proven so useful. I mean, it went as proof of concept. Can we fly on Mars? And that succeeded. And so then the next step was, okay, how is flying on Mars? What are our limitations? And they just
Yeah,
kept pushing the envelope, going higher and faster and flying for longer. And now it's just like, all right, so Jenny, we need you to go over here and take some pictures for us and scout some things out. And it's just been so useful.
it has been
And
genuinely.
it's amazing seeing this kind of like next stage to rover exploration.
Yes, absolutely. That is. Yeah, no, that's all I have to say. I don't really know what else to add. We
No.
did get a question though.
Yes, we did.
Um,
Do you want
I'll
to read
say
it?
it. Yeah, sure. Can you suggest a few open spots with somewhat dark skies on the outskirts of Duluth to skywatch, maybe, even with good binoculars?
Yeah, so there are a few places around Duluth that we usually recommend. Um, Normally, I recommend Brighton Beach, although I'm not sure if it's open yet. I know that they closed it for some updates. But that's a really great spot. I know one of our previous students has even gotten like aurora images from Brighton Beach.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
Lindsay got some. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. So Brighton Beach is really good. Hawk Ridge is another great place to go. I've gone up there for like meteor showers and stuff. Um, Otherwise, I think last time I went out to try and catch the aurora, we ended up driving just about 20 minutes outside of Duluth down the scenic lake
Yeah.
way, like on the way to Two Harbors, and just like pulled over on the side of the road. You don't have to go too far outside of Duluth, but if you're wanting to go somewhere like set and not just pull off on the side of the road somewhere, Brighton Beach and Hawk Ridge are our two big recommendations.
The few times I've only been up in Duluth for not too long, so the few times that I have gone, it has just been like, oh, we just drive up the North Shore a little bit and then just pull over at a spot and just
Yeah.
like walk out on some rocks and just see what we could see.
Yep. It's we have such a cool location that like you really don't have to go far to get those dark skies.
Very true.
I mean, even in the city, it's not terrible. I mean, it's light polluted, yes,
Yeah.
but it's not like big city light pollution. You can still see some
Ver-
things.
I I'm from White Bear Lake, which is right outside of St. Paul and Minneapolis. So like generally growing up, it was very rare for me to see like just like looking at like the skies, like even like right outside of where I live right now, like it infinitely infinitely more I can see. Like it looks more like my picture, like my little background picture does than like back home. I'm just it's nothing.
Yeah. So I think we're very lucky with the location that we have. And if you want to go on a bit more of an excursion, the Boundary Waters is actually a national or international dark sky sanctuary. It has level one dark skies, that is the darkest you can get, zero artificial light pollution, and it is stunning, the skies there. Um, so if you're ever able to get up that way, definitely check it out because it is just spectacular.
That is something I plan to do over the summer.
gonna say,
I
if you're
want to.
gonna be here this summer, you're gonna go on dark skies with us, and you will be up there.
I it'll be so cool. So cool.
Yeah, so we do an event every summer, the Dark Sky Caravan, where we take telescopes and our portable planetarium and we make our way up the North Shore up to those dark skies,
Mhm.
and up to those level 1 dark skies. So, yeah, if that's something to watch out for the summer. It's usually uh, first half of August. I don't have the date set yet, but it's usually the first half of August. All right. Do you have it? No, so I just said that. Not yet. Usually we try and time the Dark Sky Caravan around I believe it's the Geminids at that time. No, Geminids are winter, right? Hold on. I get my meteor showers confused. Perseids. Yeah, okay. Perseids are in August. So we usually try and time it around the Perseids just because it makes it a lot of fun. Um, but it also depends on our partners and stuff, on locations that we can go when we're able to set up. So, yeah, first half of August, I will have dates. We will announce as soon as we have that. Let's see, something from my mom. I read an article about the European Space Agency developing plans for some type of lunar rover to explore the caves, and I had no idea the moon had caves. Are there any other features on the moon that may not be common knowledge like that? Ooh, I don't think so. So when it's talking about like caves and mountains and stuff on the moon, those are different types of features than we have. So mountain ranges here on the Earth are from plate tectonics. We have two
Mhm.
plates that meet and they push up and they push the crust up and they form these mountain ranges. And then over time, they get eroded back down. The moon doesn't have plate tectonics. So its mountains are what we call jumbled mountains, or I forget the other term for them, but they're the cause of lots and lots and lots of impacts, where all of those impacts can push up mountains in some regions, so you get these like spatterings of like mountains and stuff, and so the caves would be places where that would have like broken apart. I honestly don't know much about lunar caves, so my mom
I
may have
was
just stumped me.
I was looking a little bit. That was one thing I was actually looking into before this. Apparently that I think it's NASA's looking into lunar caves as being a way of like setting up bases on the moon.
Yeah, which would be and we did have a comment that reminded me of some other things. That some of these caves are actually dried up ancient lava channels where lava flowed under the surface and carved out these like tunnels, and then you have like the roof of that tunnel has kind of collapsed to reveal that, and that could also be what some of these caves are. So, Forrest, thank you for that. I had forgotten about that. Um, but yeah, having that would be a good place because on the surface of the moon, you're exposed to all of the stuff that our atmosphere protects us
Yeah,
from, all of that high energy radiation from the sun and all of that. So being able to put a base underground would shield us from that,
yeah.
which is similar to a possible base on Mars. That's one of the things that they've been researching for a while. Um, but yeah, I actually hadn't heard about the rovers, the ESA rovers. That's really cool. I'm not too surprised though. But yeah. All right. Um, and yeah, someone has posted some pictures in the comments that people can check out. Um,
We want
let's.
to talk about the
Yeah, I think we should.
us thing.
I think we should. Okay. So this isn't super astronomy related, but it's everywhere right now. So as you know, we just had our switch to daylight savings time.
Yep.
And apparently, the Senate has oh my God, I can't say that word.
Oh my. Unanimously. I can't do it either now. Unanimously?
Has
You
pushed
hold on.
through um, a bill that proposes staying on daylight savings time all the time and not having to switch back and forth. And there have been some very heated debates online about this. Um,
Yes.
and I am kind of curious what our viewers' viewpoints and thoughts are on this. And like I can say mine. Okay, so one, hate the switch. Don't think it's necessary anymore. I think changing the time twice a year just doesn't make sense anymore. However, I do not think that we should stay on daylight savings time. If we're going to set to one, I think it should be standard time because that's the time that is based off of the sun. That makes noon when the sun is highest in the sky. And that means in the winter, we're not going to have sunrises at like 10 a.m. It'll be a little bit earlier in the day. So I'm kind of curious what other people's thoughts are. That's my opinion. I have seen a lot of things coming up about apparently this was tried back in the 70s and it lasted for like a year before people wanted to switch back to the way it used to be done and not have just daylight savings time all the time. And that came about once they got to winter because kids were having to go to school in pitch black darkness. And you saw, from what I read, like a big spike in injuries during that time frame because of how dark it was when people trying to get to work and go to school. And so they ended up very quickly deciding not to stick with that and to change back. So yeah, I don't think we should change, but I think it's the wrong move to stick to daylight savings. I think we should stick to standard time.
Hope for the best.
I don't know. Brayden, do you have an opinion?
I one thing, I'm not super educated on the topic. I just never really like, I guess in I guess this is bad of me, but I guess when I was younger, I was just like, oh, it's daylight savings time. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is what it is now. So I never really looked too much into it. But now that I'm starting to look into it, I agree. Standard time is definitely for the best. Uh, it just makes more sense. It just makes more sense overall than just, oh, spring forward, oh, fall back.
And I know
But
a lot of the argument for sticking with standard is having, or sticking with daylight savings, is that you, in the summer, you do have more sunlight at the end of the day, which is looking at people being able to still enjoy sunlight when they get off from work and when kids get home from school.
yeah.
And I understand that, and that's great. I think, though, that maybe this begs a bigger discussion on the hours that we work and the hours that people are at school. But that's a whole other conversation that I am not prepared to have on this stream.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm seeing some interesting takes in the comments. I'm seeing some for standard, some for daylight savings. I think the one thing we can all agree on is we hate the flip flop back and forth.
Yeah, it does suck. But I won't lie. I like sleep. I like falling backwards. That's always nice. Getting to sleep an extra hour. I'm never gonna say no to that. But spring forward always sucks. There's never a time when it doesn't suck. So
No, my schedule is still messed up. Like I should not admit this on a stream with lots of people watching. I did not go to bed last night until like 5 a.m. I know
yeah, I
I'm a night owl
I
anyway, and the spring forward just messes it up even more. And yeah, um,
I I will say I've been having nights like that, like 3 a.m.s. Like I've been there too,
you know,
especially over the
and
past couple of years.
on another like slightly selfish as far as like astronomer, doing the spring forward makes sunset time. It does make sunset time a lot later, which means you have to stay out later to do any sort of stargazing events in the summer because it doesn't get
Mhm.
dark until like 10 p.m. here.
Yeah,
9. Um, which makes it harder to do that sort of thing during the summer when we have the best weather.
sure.
And if we didn't have that, it would get anyway. There's
Yeah,
lots of pros and cons to it. I just
yes.
thought it could be interesting to see what other people's views are on this. All right. We did have another question. How has attendance been at your shows? Fantastic. We have
So good.
sold out all of our shows for the past 2 weeks, and we are oh, nearing capacity for this weekend shows. So people seem very excited to be back in the planetarium. I know we are very happy to be open again. And speaking of, I guess I can go ahead and do this. Here is our show schedule for this week. So our Friday and Saturday shows are in person now at the planetarium. Friday is Adventures to the Edge of the Universe, which I am so excited to do this one for the first time because the new graphics that we have are going to allow us to do so much more with this show than we could have ever thought possible. Like, you want to fly up close to a black hole? We're going to do it. You want to fly through a nebula? We're going to do it. And it's spectacular. I'm so excited for the show. And then Saturday afternoon is our children's show, Polaris, and Saturday evening is our general public show, Phantom of the Universe, which is all about dark matter, which is very exciting. It's a fun show. I've really liked it. Um, so, have you noticed that the summer days are longer than from back in the Carolinas? Yes. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm originally from South Carolina. And that was a huge shock to me moving up to Minnesota. Just the very noticeable difference in the length of the days in the summer and the winter. How much daylight we get in the summer, and I still am not used to 4 p.m. sunsets in the winter. Definitely not used to that. But yeah,
Yeah.
very very noticeable difference to me just from moving up here from the Carolinas. All right, so one last thing to bring up. Let me go back to over here. We have our Astronomy Day coming up in about 3.5 weeks. It's our
Wow.
first in-person event that we've done in 2.5 years, something like that. And we are so excited. So it's going to be April 9th from 6 to 10 p.m. We have some brand new planetarium shows that we are going to be premiering during Astronomy Day, and planetarium shows for that day will be free. We're also going to have activities. There's going to be telescope viewing if the weather permits. We're also going to have a few guests. So starting off our night at 6, we're going to have local children's author Erica Adams, who's going to do a reading of her book, New Moon's Family. And then a little bit later in the evening, we're going to have a show by the fantastic Bob King, who I'm sure a lot of you probably know. So some great guests, some amazing stuff. We are so excited to be doing something a bit more normal as far as our events go. Um, so lots of exciting stuff. And yeah, I'm finalizing our actual show schedule. I can give you a little bit of some of the shows we're going to, some of the new shows. We've got I think the one I'm most excited about is Mars 1001, which is a following a crew as they go and build a base on Mars. And it's like beautifully shot, like great cinematography. Like I'm so excited. So we're gonna have that one. We're gonna have one about exoplanets. We're gonna have uh, one about astronomy going on down in Chile. Anyway, I'm going to have up on our website a little bit later this week our show schedule with descriptions and things like that. And yeah, but free planetarium shows, brand new stuff that we've never showed before. It'll be great. All
It's gonna be a
right.
good time.
Yeah. Yeah, New Moon's
What's
Family, Erica Adams. Yep, she's going to be there reading it. Um, so I'm excited. Oh, it's on your birthday. Well, I think that is a fantastic way to celebrate your birthday. Just
I would
saying.
agree.
Huge astronomy party for your birthday? Yeah.
Why would you want to miss that?
Exactly. All right. I think we will wrap it up there. Thank you, everyone. I'm just checking again to make sure there's not anything I missed. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. We are still doing these streams every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we'll be joined by Eli, who, if you've been to our streams, you know Eli. And he'll be doing our Astronomy Fact or Fiction show, which is taking a look at some common misconceptions in astronomy. And so that will be next Wednesday. I've already talked about the shows coming up Friday and Saturday in person. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you either back here on the stream or in person under the stars. Otherwise, have a wonderful, great rest of your Wednesday, and we will see you again next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.